Hey there, I'm Brandon with ADHD Game Dev. I am building games, I am shipping games. I have a lot of background with AI that might surprise you, and I want to talk about what works and what doesn't work, especially as an indie ADHD game dev. Let's get into it. Hey cool kids, good to see you here. Listen, before I say a word, I am very keenly aware that there is a very hot culture war going on, especially online. I will caveat by saying this. I do not use AI art or music in my game dev. I don't do that because the audience is against it largely, and I just don't need to intentionally annoy a possible audience group out there. So I don't use AI music or art in my game dev. I do use some AI coding tools while I am still in the driver's seat. Let's talk about how that works and what is BS and what is misunderstood. I need to tell you this because I led with a little teaser there. I actually work in a full-time capacity at a company that is big into AI and thinks it's going to absolutely be the new hotness and take over the world. In fact, I'll be expected to use AI on the regular. So for me to leave that day job all day long and then come online where it's like there's a huge contingent of people saying grr, AI is horrible, or yay, AI is our savior, is like, oh man, talk about a switch. And I have learned that there's a nuance. There's a big nuance in the middle. I've also been through enough outrage cycles. Look at the gray in my face here. I've been through enough outrage cycle that I can see outrage cycles and bubbles. Like, oh my gosh, not again. So I have avoided talking about this, but it's very important to me that I am honest, I am transparent, I am grounded, I am helpful to you without taking on controversy. I don't do the controversy and the culture war, so I'm not going to do it. But okay. So that being said, I am going to speak in a nuanced fashion. AI art. AI art, music, and coding. Art, I don't think that AI art is art. It's not art because it's not, you didn't put any effort into it. And I think that art needs to be created by a person with intention, with skill, and with effort to be art. It's the same reason I don't think a banana taped to a wall is art either. Now, when it comes to video games, I don't think that my art assets going into a game are art either. I just need assets. You see, I have a different view on it. If it weren't for the fact that the audience out there is kind of anti-AI right now, I would use it a lot more because it is a quick way to get art. Assets. I don't need art. You see what I'm saying? Do you hear the words I'm saying? I don't need art. I need assets. Because I'm not creating art, I'm creating a video game. A video game holistically might be considered an artistic endeavor, but it's not art per se. So I don't think AI art is art, but I don't think art assets in the video game is usually art in itself. The game as a whole might be. But I think it would greatly benefit if it has more human effort and more of your signature, whatever that is. So even if it's just pixel art that you're doing, that's something. Still, I struggle because there's a lot of my mind that says I don't want to sit here in judgment of anybody who enjoys a banana taped to a museum wall, and I don't want to be in judgment of anybody who enjoys AI art, and I don't want to be in judgment of anybody who likes that you squirt paint onto a squeegee and wipe it off and call that art. Okay, if you enjoy it, it's your right to enjoy it. So I don't think that AI art is as helpful in game design because I wind up having to work with it way too much and mess with it, and it can't be replicated per se. It creates more problems than it's worth. But some people have found good workflows of creating 3D models in AI. They bother me because I see some real rigging issues with it or some real polygon issues, and I'm like, man, this is going to create more problems than it's worth. And if you don't learn how to work with the assets that you've got, because the AI was doing a lot of the heavy lifting, you're going to create a whole lot of problems for yourself down the road. So it can be helpful in limited ways, I think. Again, I don't use it just because I don't want to antagonize the audience out there, but I could see it useful for textures, for backgrounds, for assets of some variety. especially if it's a matter of I'm either going to draw in Paint or I'm going to get some AI art. But yeah, I'm not going to debate the ethics of it. That's for you to decide. I'm talking about whether it's helpful or not. So, helpful, kind of, could be, sort of. AI music, I would use that a lot more, probably because I am really not a good musician. I am not a good musician. I would use it more because my game right now is Tiny The Last Wayfinder. You can buy that on Steam. And I do hope you will check it out. If you don't want to buy it, you can at least try the demo, and then you'll want to buy it. But I paid a musician for music, so you'll hear a theme song of that, and I paid a musician. But the problem here is that was the majority of my budget. It put me in a position where it's going to be really hard for me to make any money on the video game because I paid a musician to make the music, and it's only one key song that I could afford. I would rather have more music and a bigger audio environment in a way that would be available to me through AI that would probably still cost money, by the way. And if it's a question of are you disenfranchising an artist, a musician, in my case, no, because I can't afford them anyway, and I did pay them. I just can't afford more. So yeah, I'm going to avoid the ethical conversation around it. That's really, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. To me, if it weren't for the fact that there is opposition to it, I would probably use that more because that is a serious weakness for me. And I think the AI music fits that area of good enough. But in the same way of AI art, AI music cannot be anything but derivative. So the limited usefulness of what you're getting out of these tools does mean that the assets that you're getting are going to be derivative. They're definitely going to sound like something you've heard before. It must. It must. It's being trained on a ton of other stuff. That's where the ethics come in. It's being trained on a bunch of other stuff without permission most of the time, and it's imitating them as a middle of the road of everything. So there's no such thing as originality. So I think it's going to be hard for you to express yourself in any real way through AI art or music in an original way. So yeah, I think for me, I would probably use it for light filler music and things. I'm having to find other ways to do that instead that aren't going to break the bank doing it. And that's probably a real challenge for me right now, because I'm trying to play by the expectation of the audience, which is to not use the AI art or music, okay? Coding. Coding is one where I think it is less controversial because I don't think people feel like anybody is being ripped off in any way because the AIs have read the whole manual and I haven't. Their usual complaint about it is about you not learning. Okay, so here's where my background in my day job really kicks in. You might misunderstand the manner in which you should be using AI tools if you are using them. You are not supposed to check out and say, write the thing. You're supposed to use them as heavy lifting. You're supposed to use them to get you into the ballpark and then work on it. And it's supposed to be a collaboration back and forth. So when I'm using an AI coding system, it's because I already know how to code in Game Maker language. I just don't know how to code in Godot. I can get it started, I can get it going, I can edit it, I can rewrite it. I just can't write every line. There's whole areas I don't really know about the syntax of, like switch cases, stuff like that. But what I don't do is say, write the whole thing, copy paste, oh that didn't work, write it again, copy paste, oh that didn't work, here's an error. That is the wrong way to use it. The right way to use it, if you were using it, is for you to stay in the driver's seat and say very, very clearly, I need a script to do exactly this. Then you read the script, whether you could have written it on your own or not, read it and understand what it's doing, make changes to it and make it your own, and make sure that it is assembling with the rest of what you're putting together, because the logic of the game holistically is still you. I have seen myself very much in the seat of games director. I am not creating every single art asset. I am buying them from human beings. I am not creating the music. I am buying it from human beings. I am not writing every line of code. And yes, I am leaning on AI tools to help me, but that is a crutch, I think, that becomes less and less needed. The more I learn, the more useful it becomes and the less required it becomes at the same time. It's this irony, because the more I know, the more I can guide it in a smart way, and the more likely I am to be able to just write it on my own, or at least tell it exactly what I want it to write, because it can write faster than me. So I find that that is actually the most helpful area to me, especially with the, man, I spent years as an ADHDer going through learning Game Maker language, and I don't use Game Maker language anymore. So it would be, to me, counterproductive to spend too much time learning Godot script, which is only used in Godot. I don't know how long I'll use Godot, but I don't want to work in just that forever. And I used to be able to Google search stuff, and Google is kind of a catastrophe now, in case you didn't notice. Everything is trying to sell you something or direct you to a video. And I used to be able to engage in forums online. And it's tough. It's difficult now to have the kind of back and forth collaboration and learning environment that I used to be in. So AI tools do help me to learn code faster and to get results faster. But I'm doing things that are meeting my standards of getting something done, actually shipping, and understanding. And I pay for a ChatGPT premium because I can't read a manual. I can't. I get onto Steam and it turns to noise in front of my eyes. And I need this tool to lean on to help understand bit by bit what I'm doing, because I get highly confused. I get highly overwhelmed, but I believe in being honest and transparent and helpful. And my most helpful advice to you, if you're an ADHDer, is to use the tools that you need for as long as you need them. Try to learn to do better. If you can wean yourself off of something and improve, like I'm improving as a coder, that's great. But you have to be true to your own self and follow what you want to make instead of what everybody expects of you. So I hope that helps you. I think I've said enough on this. I do hope you appreciate that I'm being honest and transparent with you today. I hope you'll give the video a like and check out my game, Tiny the Last Wayfinder, where I have paid human beings to help me with art, and I have also used AI to help me with coding. But not with the artistic side. It is my artistic vision of a game and my story and my characters. All the typos are mine. So I appreciate you. Be awesome today.